r/AskReddit. How has online dating worked for you? Back in 2016, I created an anon Twitter account as a place to blow off steam and rant about things I didn't want my current/future employers seeing. Wasn't looking to make friends and definitely wasn't looking for romance. But one day another anon made me one of my tweets with a message like OMG yes, I totally agree with this. We started talking about random topics and hit it off immediately. Over the next few weeks, we talked on the phone a lot, FaceTimed every night, and before either of us realized what was happening we were falling in love. People will argue whether you can fall in love with someone you've never met, but I can tell you that it's absolutely possible. One minor problem: I lived in South Georgia at the time and she lived over 1,000 miles away in Chicago. Another minor problem: both of our parents were absolutely opposed to us dating and did everything they could to keep us apart. She was a freshman in college and I was a sophomore at the time and both of us were still living at home, so that became a challenge. If you thought a long distance relationship was hard, try having a long distance relationship in secret. Her parents wouldn't let me visit her, and every time we tried to plan a trip to meet up things would fall through. After about 7 months of waiting, I did the craziest thing I've ever done. I got on a plane and flew to Chicago without telling anyone where I was going or telling her that I was coming. I called her from the O'Hare airport and nearly gave her a heart attack. Her parents somehow agreed to let her come see me after loading her purse with mace and pepper spray, and we spent an incredible few days laughing together and falling more in love than we thought possible. Amazed that I would go to that much effort to date their daughter, her parents eventually relented and gave us their blessing. We continued to date long distance, and in September 2018 I dropped to one knee on the Chicago waterfront and asked her to marry me. She said yes and made me the luckiest man alive. Fast forward to May 2019. I packed up my life and drove 14 hours straight with my golden retriever to start a new life in Chicago with a girl I love. Adjusting to Chicago has been a challenge for this dead southerner, but it's worth it, and I'd do it all again in a heartbeat. When the stars align and fate brings an incredible woman into your life, you don't give up on her just because she lives 1,000 miles away. If you made it this far, thanks for putting up with my rambling. Hopefully this inspires you not to give up on love. TLDR, sometimes sliding in the DMs works. Oh, and love always finds a way. Edit. Thanks for the platinum and all of the kind words. Had no idea this would blow up, but glad some of you enjoyed reading it. I seem to attract men who are toothless. Oh my god. I'm in Missouri and this happened to me too. In all of his pictures he had a tight-lipped smile. When we met IRL he had not one whole tooth. What teeth he had were yellow stumps. He also did not have all of his fingers. It was a rather traumatic experience and I'm not in a hurry to get back online. Edit. Not traumatic but disappointing and shocking enough that I hesitate to go back to online dating. Also, I believe that when we have universal healthcare that includes dental care, there will be much more happiness and well-being in our country. Haha. I once went on a date with a girl who was clearly a meth head. When she opened her mouth, she had less than 25% of her teeth, and what little she did have was nothing but broken black and brown tar-covered chunks. All her pictures were close-mouthed. I didn't even think what could be hiding in there. That event messed me up so much that I now have a thing for girls with great smiles. I even went and got invisible braces to fix my own teeth. Absolutely scarred for life. Will not swipe on people if they hide their teeth. But on the plus side, getting braces boosted my own confidence. So in a way I'm thankful for that effed update. Rarely match. When I do get a couple messages back and forth of pleasantries and getting to know, then ghosted. Every time. Never gotten a date with anyone from online. Assuming you're a male, since I've had many similar experiences. But have you seen what an even moderately attractive woman's Tinder app looks like? I was hanging with basically a friend with benefits, who was pretty much an absolute mess, and cute but not bangin' hot, and she kept getting Tinder notifications. So she opened the app, and I expressed curiosity at what women's Tinder looks like, and it was like when you see a friend's mail app's unread push notifications in the thousands. Like holy frick, all I see are red and red notifications all the way down. It's probably less about you and more that these women have so many options. The odds of any one person keeping their interest goes down. I met my wife in a less traditional online setting. We met on Xbox Live 6 years ago. Edit. I was playing Forza Horizon and she joined the party chat I was in. She was playing Call of Duty at the time. Edit 2. It's so great seeing everyone else's get-together stories on this thread. Congrats to all of you who connected with that special someone through the love of video games. For those who've had some bad experiences, I hope it's all just water under the bridge now. I met a girl on Xbox Live when I was 17, Black Ops 2 to be specific. Ended up exchanging Instagrams and eventually phone numbers. She was in Texas and I'm in Washington. After about 6 months, we started to do long distance dating as we'd both taken an interest in one another, until I realized that I was probably never going to meet her, so I broke things off after a few months. Apparently she didn't like that, so 2 days later, I came home from school and she's sitting on my front porch with her bags. She packed up her life and moved to Washington because she wanted to be with me. Ended up dating and living together for 3 years until she left me for another guy she met on Xbox on a game that I bought for her. LMFAO. TLDR. Met a girl on Xbox. She moved across the country for me and then left me for another Xbox guy. I met a boy online 14 years ago when I was 17. He was in Alaska, I was in Australia, but he was my "online dating boyfriend." He's currently sitting next to me in Australia as my husband of 8 years, 10 out of 10, would find in the abyss of the internet and marry so hard again. Edit. Whoa. I wasn't expecting this to get so much love. Thank you for the awards. Nice words and questions. To clarify some common questions, we met by chance. We weren't using a dating website. We accidentally found each other on a forum website and fell hard for each other. We started chatting in 2006, kept in touch using MSN and Skype. He came out to Australia for a visit in 2009. I went there for a visit in 2010. He moved here on a temporary work/holiday visa in 2011. We got married in 2012, then went through the long process of a partner visa. I once online dated a girl in Australia. I lived in California. I met on StarCraft. This was about 16 years ago, and we were both teenagers. I was 15, and she was 14, I think, and we used to send each other calling card numbers to talk on the phone, game together all the time, and one day, we said our normal daily goodbye and I never saw her again. Sometimes I wonder about it. I'm 33 now, so this was a long time ago. Not great. Highlights include the dude that kept texting me pictures of Hitler until I blocked him, several who got too drunk to stand, one who puked as I tucked him in and then called me a snotty bee for not effing him, and the guy who licked my face with no preamble on the ride home. Yeah, I'm done. I feel you. I had a guy who, after I told him I didn't want to go to somewhere noisy, took me to an arcade bar thing. It was so loud I couldn't think. Then he put his arm around me, and I shrunk away so fast. Then there was the guy who took his shoes off at every restaurant we went to. I thought I could overlook it, because he was a super nice and intelligent guy, but it was too much. I was skeptical about it, but I swiped aggressively, both left and right, for 2 weeks hoping something would work out. Ended up that after 3 weeks I had a date with 2 separate girls, Saturday and one Sunday. Saturday flaked the morning of, claiming to be too hungover to make it. Mind you, this was 10 hours before the agreed time, so I was not impressed. I was cool about it though, said we could reschedule for later in the week. Second girl messaged me that afternoon asking if I wanted to meet that night instead. I said yeah, absolutely, thinking, hey, that's pretty neat. So we agree to meet at a restaurant of her choosing, and I show up 5 minutes early. Get there, and there's a private event that's closed to the public. So now I'm thinking this is quite a curveball. I wonder if I will have to pretend to know someone at their private corporate event. It wasn't that, though. She just didn't know about the private event. So we went somewhere else. Been seeing her for over a month now, and it's going great. Sure, there are plenty of horror stories, but really my personal opinion is that, even if you have 9 bad dates, it only takes one for it all to turn around. I may have gotten lucky. It is still early, but even if I hadn't, if you are serious about wanting a relationship you have to keep trying. It won't fall out of the sky. When I first started at online dating I messaged probably 30 women, and after a couple weeks had 3 different dates 3 days in a row. The first was awful. The second one was meh. The third was great and the girl and I dated for a few months. I later broke up with the aforementioned girl and tried to get back into online dating for a few weeks. Went on one date with a girl that I hit it off with just chatting online. Then it was like talking to a different person when we met up. I later met this other girl, but after a couple dates we just didn't click at all. I then moved cities and take a break for several months. Get back on my profile, message a beautiful girl, meet up, we immediately connect, and we are getting married in March. To anyone reading this, I'll just say that I never thought I would get married, but keep putting yourself out there and good things might happen. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing for more videos like this. Don't forget to leave your stories in the comments below.